before we get totally into things, I have an ad for you. Aren't you excited? This is from ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN protects your privacy and security online. But there's something you might not know about ExpressVPN, and that's that you can use ExpressVPN to unlock movies and shows that are available in other countries. Okay, so obviously we've all been sitting at home being really bored watching Netflix, and we've watched all the shows possible on Netflix, and we don't think that's possible, but it is. And so what ExpressVPN allows you to do, you fire up the app, you change your location. You could change it to like the UK, for instance, and then all of a sudden you can watch all the Star Trek Discovery in UK at Netflix, or you can watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine in Netflix Canada, or Rick and Morty in Netflix France. You can watch Rick and Morty in France, and you can watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in Netflix Australia, or How I Met Your Mother in Netflix Germany. I don't know. There's hundreds of different options, hundreds of different countries with hundreds of different shows that aren't available in the U.S. So if you're interested, you can do that. ExpressVPN hides your IP address and lets you control what you want, where you want sites to think you're located. So if you're interested, just use my special link right now. It's expressvpn.com/worst. That's expressvpn.com/worst. And you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. My listeners, 3 months for free. That's a long time. Okay, we've all been sitting in quarantine, so we know how long 3 months is. And if you want to watch some shows that aren't available in the U.S. and you just want to check some stuff out, head to expressvpn.com/worst, download it, fire up the app, and check out some new shows. You're welcome. Okay, everybody, we are here. We are alive. We are breathing. Thank God. My Lord. Thanks for coming from fucking Lake Hollywood. I just tell everyone where you live. His address is to Calabasas.
Right.
I had a COVID test 2 days ago. I'm negative, thank fuck. And I've got one. I went to St. Bart's like a week ago, and there's no COVID there.
I believe that.
0 cases.
I believe that.
Isn't that so crazy?
Even though that could change at any time with all of the traffic coming in from other places.
I know, but they test you on your way in.
Oh, yeah?
They test you while you're there, and they test you on your way out.
Wow.
They're gnarly. Cool. They don't want any of it.
Is that like Virgin Islands or something?
It's like, it's like outside of Florida, like a little bit further outside of Florida.
Caribbean.
It's crazy though, because honestly, when I was there, it was so weird to be in a place where no one's wearing masks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do you think this is going to be our future forever?
It's tough to say. Hopefully not. I just want movie theaters to come back because we started making a new Jackass movie.
You did? Is Jeff Tremaine directing it? Dude, that's amazing.
Right, Jackass 4. And we were a week into filming it and it got shut down. And while I was on the set of Jackass 4 for that 1 week, I got a call from my agent telling me, congratulations, no more comedy clubs. I've graduated to theaters. He said, you're selling out far enough in advance, it just doesn't make any sense to book more comedy clubs, so welcome to the theater world, and no more tour.
No! Just when you break in, they just they're like, fuck that, we're not letting Steve-O have his. By the way, guys, I didn't even introduce him because I don't feel like you need an introduction. Wow. If anyone who's watching my podcast doesn't know who he is, you need to get it together. This is Steve-O.
Well, thank you.
From Jackass fame, but he also has an amazing podcast, and he's a stand-up comedian, and he's a kind of everything. So you kind of do everything.
Thank you. I've evolved over the years.
Yeah.
I've become rather diverse.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had my friend Ryan Sickler was on the podcast. You know Ryan?
Of course, yeah. We've done comedy together a bunch.
So he told me that at the end of the shows, you used to squeeze lemons in your eyes.
I would set myself on fire and have people use me as a fire-breathing torch. I would pour lemon juice in my eyes. I would balance butcher knives on my nose.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, lemon juice in the eyes, it hurts. It's pretty quick. Yeah, I would do it every night, mostly twice a night, and I would do it until my vision got blurry, and then I would feel like, man, I got to stop doing that, and then I'd stop for a while, but then I would start again.
But you can lose your vision because it's acid.
Well, unfortunately, and even though I do need glasses now.
Do you think that's what did it? The fucking lemons?
I don't know.
You fucking lemoned your eyeballs. Now you need goddamn fucking glasses for the rest of your life.
It's possible.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
So what is the most painful thing that you've ever done? This podcast is called Worst First. We talk about all the worst shit you've ever been through. We don't have to be dark. We don't have to be, you know.
Oh, it's all good. I don't mind no matter where you want to take it. But it's an interesting thing. The worst, most fucked up, painful, terrible thing. It ended up in me having skin grafts on 15% of my body. It was so fucking bad, and the footage has never been released yet.
Is it gonna get released?
In like the next week or two. Yeah.
On like your YouTube channel?
Well, it can't be on YouTube because it's way too fucked up for that. So I had to build a player into my website.
What the fuck?
And it still hasn't been made public yet. I imagine when this comes out, it still won't be public, but the people who will get first access to it are the people who text me on that community app.
Oh,
So
okay. There's an app called Community. What's that
yeah,
about?
yeah. Have you seen how like celebrities
Can have people text them?
Yeah,
I was just
shoot me a
confused. I
text.
almost put my real phone number up. Like, you know what? Fuck it. If everybody's giving their phone number out, I'm gonna give mine out too.
That is
Almost like an idiot. Like I was like, all right, well, if it's cool to give people your phone number, fuck it. I was about to put Tommy's up there, just like I'll use him first. So
That's so great. Yeah, you can send me a text at 323-577-6952.
yes,
Candidly, what that means is that you just go on to into this app. I've got like I don't know, 45,000 people
Followers?
who have done that, and so it's just like I can text you stuff that I'm not able to put on Instagram.
like dick pics.
But yeah, there's this one bit in this special where I get all the burns and the skin grafts in there. It's got the like the whole cast of Jackass together, and the first time that we're all in a project since Ryan Dunn died, which is super special.
Yeah.
And one bit I'm so proud of this one, because women can just paint their boobs and walk around like it's no big deal.
Yep.
I arrived at the conclusion that I should be able to paint my dick and do whatever I want. So,
Bruh.
right? So,
Like doesn't really camouflage. It's kind of floppy.
well, right, but I put together like a cyclist suit. You know how they wear like spandex and stuff? It was like the helmet, like the spandex shirt, the whole deal. But I just painted on the shorts. My girl painted on the shorts. So, and here's the crazy part.
Just painted over your wiener.
Right.
But how'd you get it to like lay flat?
We didn't make it lay flat. We just painted it pretty thoroughly. And then I went riding this bike around, crashing it in front of people. And so I eat shit right in front of them, and I'm laying there. They come over to like help me up. They reach their hand out to help me up, and I've just got my dong
And they realize you're naked.
flapping around, with my dong. And the bike I had was blue. I had this blue spandex shirt, but like there's blue and black. So I painted on. The shorts were painted on with black paint. And I'm ready to go, right? Like, before we went to go film the bit, I had texted a picture of me all made up to my buddy Knoxville. And he writes back, "That's the smallest black dick I've ever seen."
That's amazing.
And I wasn't even thinking
Stop. That's amazing. He's like, wow, no one will notice.
I just never, it didn't even occur to me that like, I really walked into that one by accident.
Dude, that's fucking. So wait, was the shirt painted on too?
No, the shirt was
So you had a
legit,
real shirt,
I had a real shirt.
and just shorts painted on.
Yeah. I just painted on the shorts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then the actual photo, which I texted to Knoxville, where I'm standing there hoisting up the bicycle, and I've got like my wiener painted.
Yeah.
Just blatantly, you can just see my wiener.
Yeah, obviously.
And I made it into this pen. You know, when you're a little kid, there are the pens that it would have a dude or
Floating in it?
Well, right, but they'd be like, if you hold it up the one way, they're wearing like a bikini. But if you turn it upside down, the bikini disappears
Goes away,
and you
yeah.
see him naked.
Yeah.
I made one of those out of me with my dick painted. And so you can buy them on my website, stevo.com. Dick pic pens.
Is it just your real dick? Just fucking
Yeah.
giving your dick to everybody? Just like, hey, check it out. No problem.
If you hold the pen right side up, I've got solid black shorts. But if you turn it upside down, the shorts disappear and you see my wiener right there painted. It's fantastic.
Do you have an OnlyFans?
You know what? I actually, in my car.
Yeah. Do you have one?
I have dick pic
Please
pens.
give one to Tommy. Please, he'll die. He'll love it.
Yeah,
He'll use it
sure.
every day. He'll love that shit. Are you fucking
sure.
kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it was a big, terrible.
Did you get in trouble for it though? Like public indecency at all?
I didn't. We were pretty careful. We drove around. We had the bike on the back of the car. We drove around and like sort of picked out like where there's some dudes walking. We're careful to only do it in front of dudes.
Oh, good.
And we would pick our marks, and then I would jump out of the car real quick and get on the bike, and then just go crash it in front of the dudes. But at one point, I got out of the car to do it, and just happened to be the car next to us had all these little kids getting out of it.
Are you serious?
And I was like, no.
No.
I was like, no. And so I jumped back in our car, and I was like, yo, guys, that's a wrap, dude. We're done. We got to wait.
You're like, the children is where I cut it off.
Right. And that, I mean, dude, that was like, it's just a weird
They're
time.
like, Mommy, what is that? I'm dead. I know, you got to be really fucking careful right now.
I know, it's a weird time. And I was just like, fuck it.
I bet you were fine though. I bet they didn't see anything. Thank fuck.
Yeah. Really, I got back in the car. I was pretty quick to realize before.
What was the guys' reactions like? Were some of them like they'd go to help you up and then they'd be like, ew, or what would they say? Like, would some of them still continue to help you up even though you had your dick out?
A couple people got pretty offended. And
like how so? Like you're disgusting?
Be like, yo, dude. They were offended, but they were like, yo, dude, you're gonna get arrested going around like that, And
you're like, I fucking stapled my ball sack to my leg. What more?
I got arrested for stapling my ball sack to my leg one time.
How?
Because
you did it in public?
Yeah, this was in.
Oh, look who's here.
Yeah, what up, dog?
Here, come watch. He's telling me crazy stories. Tommy's fucking buddy's here. Come watch. He's telling me stories.
No, it's all good.
Okay, bye. See you later. Just kidding. Sorry about that, guys. You know Tommy interrupts like everyone on my podcast?
Oh, that's all good.
No, like literally since I've been doing it at home, I'll be sitting here with people and he'll just start screaming for me.
I love it.
Asking me where shit is.
I mean, that's Tommy Lee right there.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big deal.
You guys have a history, but we'll get into that in a second.
Sure.
But
how many of these podcasts have you done?
65.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like you guys.
Well, I'm way behind you.
You're behind me?
Yeah. My podcast. I just recorded episode 17, I think.
Your studio looks way more professional than mine. I'm like shooting on an iPhone. He's like, yeah, I got an Alexa shooting the podcast. I've got Jeff Tremaine's directing every episode. I'm just kidding. That's amazing.
Well, we do it in a van.
Oh, that whole thing that you showed me was in a van?
Yeah.
With the chairs and everything? The setup? The picture you sent me?
I'm trying to think whether it's got the sign in the background, the Wild Ride sign.
Oh, no, I think you sent me a picture of something else. I think you sent me a picture like a big tape that said Motley Crue on it.
No. Yeah, that's my game room at home.
I love that.
That's a different one, yeah.
Okay.
I was just showing off my my Motley Crue.
I thought that was your podcast setup. I was like, damn.
No.
So some people got like offended, but did anyone laugh? Were people?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So not everyone's lost their fucking sense of humor.
Right. It was it was awkward. They were, kind of uncomfortable. I would ask like different questions too. Like there was a bunch of like guys working on construction, and they were having their lunch break. And
God, they're all.
And I rolled up with my bike. I said, "Hey, do you guys know anything about bikes? Can you tell me, is this tire? Does it need any air?
Stop.
And I was just like had my wiener right in their face.
Stop. How are you filming it? Like hidden camera?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It's fun.
I mean, I know you guys have done all this like on Jackass and stuff, but I feel like you need like your own show where you do shit like this.
Dick painting had not been done.
That's huge.
Yeah, dick painting, I'm real proud of.
That's a huge one, because I feel like when I see the girls with the painted on shit, you can't really tell they're naked unless she's got like crazy nips. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for the most part, like I've gone to the Playboy Mansion parties, and the girls who are walking around naked, or they're naked, but they're painted. They don't look really naked. Right. But a penis,
right? But
it's a little more 3D.
back in the day on Jackass when it was a TV show, Bam, he like fell out of some like little go-kart contraption thing, and he thought he broke his tailbone. So they sent him to the hospital to get an X-ray, and the X-ray just completely showed his dick, and they let it ride on MTV. Like it's just like right there. That's his.
Wait, how did the X-ray shows penis? I didn't think penises had actual bones in them.
Right, but it's a little bit more faint, like the flesh like outline.
Right,
it was blatant. It
you
was
could
just
see it.
Yeah, it was like
Big old cock and balls.
Right, and so if MTV can show an X-ray that has the penis that detailed, then I should be able to paint my dick and show it there too.
For sure.
Right.
Definitely. I mean, it's kind of covered, right?
Yeah, but dude, I went all out. Oh my god, and I had like I swallowed a full load of my buddy's cum.
I feel like this is some guy's fantasies. They're like, ooh, where can I send my cum? What made you want to do that?
Actually, admitting that just made me embarrassed. I feel like my face is turning red right now.
You're not red. Don't worry about it. I've swallowed a lot of loads of cum if it makes you feel any better. Hey, Dad. Thanks for watching.
I see, like the way that this whole project works. It's like a stand-up comedy special. But as I put together the act, it occurred to me that most of the stories I was telling, like, happened on camera. So then I thought, what if I had made my comedy special like a stand-up comedy special, but there's the footage edited into it, so you're seeing the stories unfold as I tell them in the act.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's a multimedia comedy special.
I like that.
I don't think it's ever been done, and it starts out as like a journey through my criminal record. And at one point, I was arrested for international drug smuggling. Where I was
when?
In 2003.
For what?
I was in Norway and I filled up a condom with marijuana and hash and tied it in a knot and I swallowed it. And then I got on an airplane and flew to Sweden. So funny because I was emailing with like Tommy about it way back then.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I was telling him all about it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I swallowed this thing, it won't come out. I was going through my poop for like 6 days, and it never came out. And the whole time I'd been bragging on the radio about it and everything. I finally pooped it out, but the next morning I got arrested.
Because you talked about it.
Because the cops read about it in the newspaper, all this and that. And
you could have gotten away with that shit.
Oh, easily. I could have gotten away with it.
Shit, literally.
I drew so much attention to it. And it was just this crazy story because it got stuck in my throat. Ooh. It was just this whole...
Is it gnarly? Because that's
It's the name of the comedy special is Gnarly. Dude. So gnarly. And so then after I tell that story in the show, and it's got all this crazy footage, like, like built into it.
Yeah.
Then I was like, like I celebrated it. I would do like tell an old story and then I'd do something gnarly new.
Yeah.
I'd go back and forth, something old, something new. And so then after the drug smuggling bit, I'm like, I did a new condom stunt. I got my buddy Chris Pontius to come over and he jacked off into a rubber, like full load into the rubber. He ties it in a knot and then he comes out into my living room and hands it to me right in front of my father. Right, and so we ambushed my dad to get my dad's reaction when this full load filled condom, I put it in my mouth and swallowed it.
Did your dad know what was going on?
Not at all. We just ambushed him with it.
How old is your dad?
He's 78.
Oh my God, did he fucking give him a heart attack? He was probably like, oh my God, Jesus. Is he like, so what does he think of all the shit you do?
Dad famously doesn't fuck with the gay humor.
He hates
like,
that shit.
Like back in the day when we did Jackass the movie, there was this bit where Ryan, or I was supposed to do it at first, put a toy car up my butt and then go get an X-ray. And I told my dad about it, and like he was so disappointed that I was thinking about doing that. I backed out. I said I can't do that to my dad.
Oh.
And so that's why Ryan Dunn did that.
Yeah.
And
otherwise you were down.
Yeah, Dad was like, to be clear, he told this to the director after the premiere. My dad said, to be clear, I wasn't concerned about my son's health. I'm just extremely homophobic, my dad said.
Where's your dad from?
He was from the States. And I mean, even in this culture, to say this was Dad just grew up with a certain
Yeah, that's a different
way,
time.
you know?
I get it, but
And
yeah.
I mean, he's really not like a jerk, and
Yeah,
don't really
yeah.
be mad at him. But it's just like he just doesn't really go for the
Gay stuff.
the gay stuff.
Yeah, some people don't.
That's why I really wanted to get his reaction. I'm
Wow.
like, Dad, I'm gonna gobble my buddy's load right here and now.
And you told him what you were doing. It wasn't just like, hey, swallow this. You told him exactly what you're doing.
I was like, yeah. Pontius handed it to me, and it was a big fat load in there.
And how did your fiance react to this?
She was filming. We set up the cameras, and Dad sat down in front of the cameras. There was a ruse. I told him I was gonna
Surprise him with something?
I was gonna interview him about like some kind of vegan hamburger, you know, like one of these Beyond Burgers or something. I was like, I want you to try it out, and we're gonna talk about it. And then my
Oh my God, your poor dad.
yeah, my dad's like, well, that's not vegan.
Amazing. But he still has great comedic timing. That's definitely not vegan. That's fucking amazing that you did
There's
that.
a lot. I loaded it up. I really loaded it up for the opening sequence. I got a billboard truck, and all my Jackass buddies duct taped me to the side of it, and it was a billboard truck promoting the actual special.
And it's you on it.
Yeah, and I'm duct taped to it, and they fucking we shot driving me duct tape down the highway.
That's fucking amazing. How do you get away with this shit?
Well, this was tricky. We wouldn't have gotten away with it. It was in Monrovia, you know.
Oh yeah, nobody's there.
Right, Los Angeles.
You have to go somewhere. No, where's that? Like no one even knows.
It's
yeah,
Los
I get
Angeles
it.
County.
Right.
And we were kind of on this hill, and we did it, and Knoxville almost fucking killed me, hitting baseballs at me while I was duct taped.
He hit baseballs at you,
Yeah, really
like it
hard.
wasn't enough for you to just be taped to a truck.
Really,
We got to
fucking
up
hard.
the ante.
It was unbelievably gnarly. And so then when we got done with the baseballs and everything, and I'm duct taped to the side of the truck, then to actually get on the highway, what we did was we mounted a big box
over you.
So I was
So you
still
wouldn't see
totally
it.
duct taped to the side of the truck, but we had a box mounted over me, and we drove me out to Barstow. Once we got to Barstow, then we took the box off.
And then it was
And
fucking
just
free riding.
Yeah, we just hauling ass down the fucking highway to Vegas.
Amazing.
We went all the way to Vegas.
All the way to Vegas from Barstow.
Yeah, we stopped just outside of Vegas, but we still had to get all the way to Denver. So what we did was the next month, we had the company take the billboard truck to like Grand Junction, Colorado, or something, and because we got Vegas until the sun went down. We picked it up from like Grand Junction to Denver.
And how
Going through mountains
this had
and
to be like a
snow.
ton of duct tape.
Yeah, it was a lot of duct
Like
tape,
this
yeah.
must have taken a long fucking time to get you duct taped to this
Yeah.
thing.
It was heavy.
Like 100, and then peeling that shit off.
Right.
Were you
And it
completely
was
naked
so
underneath?
fucking- see, like going to Vegas, we've got it until the sun going completely down. And then when we flew to Colorado to film the back end of it, we started with the sun coming up. And so the sun coming up in fucking winter in fucking Colorado, that was like the heaviest. I was so fucking cold, duct taped to the side of that
Were you
truck.
naked underneath the duct
I
tape?
had a diaper on so I could pee
A
and poo.
diaper. No, you pissed and shit yourself?
I never shit while we were doing that, but
You did go pee-pees?
yeah, I did plenty of peeing. Yeah.
How much peeing could that diaper hold?
They're pretty impressive.
Did you hold like a couple rounds of pee?
Diapers hold a lot of pee.
Do they?
Yeah.
Adult diapers. Good to know. For if you ever fucking become incontinent, guys, you're covered.
Right. And
Oh
if
my
anybody,
God.
If anybody's interested, I honestly swear this is the best fucking project I've ever put together.
It's insane.
It terrifies me having to follow it up, and that was, you know.
I don't think you can follow it up unless
Well, I
you
can't.
actually kill yourself.
I mean, technically I already did because I put together a new show since Gnarly, which is what I've been touring with, called The Bucket List.
Oh my God.
And that's where I went skydiving for my first time, butt naked with the guy strapped on my back. and actually jacked off until I blew a load, simultaneously blowing a load as I fell out of the airplane.
And you were actually able to come?
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I brought a portable DVD player with me.
Did you really? No, you didn't.
I swear.
You were watching porn?
Yeah.
Stop. Some guys can't even come just laying in a bed. You're fucking jumping out of an airplane with a dude on your back.
Yeah, an airplane full of dudes with a dude on my back. So yeah,
Your dad will love that footage.
Yeah, I was able to put together another show. And I think the bucket list it'll come out after Gnarly, and it'll maybe be episodic. It'll be like a 6-episode series.
Does your body hurt?
Not too bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's not too bad. And you'd think the bucket list there'd be nowhere to go, but I figured out where to go from the bucket list.
Where?
It's called Too Far.
I thought fucking Gnarly was too far.
Right, it arguably is, but I'm going like way too fucking far for that. Whenever I get around to filming the Steve-O's Gone Too Far, that's when I'm getting like full fucking breast augmentation surgery.
You're gonna get breasts? Steve-O, no.
It's too far.
You're too far.
Right.
Are you really gonna get titties?
And a dick tattooed on my forehead.
No, not for real.
Well, yeah, because I can remove the titties after, like once I tap out. I need to get them so I can find out how long I last with them.
You're actually, it stretches your skin.
Well, that's just too bad, Brittany.
You're going to have fucking little saggy man boobs for the rest of your fucking life afterwards.
Well, that's just too bad.
Are you going to, maybe if you like them, you'll keep them.
There is a guy who lost a bet, and for losing the bet, he got breast implants, and like 18 years later, he still has them.
Stop. What size?
See, that's...
Yeah, what size are you going?
The guy's kind of a bitch-ass pussy, if you ask me.
He got A's.
Well, you can. He wears like baggy clothing. You can't even seem to see that. When I have titties, I'm gonna be doing all kinds of shit.
You're gonna get titties like me, like fucking D's, just fucking massive titties.
I'm gonna get them as big as I can.
As big as you can?
Well, I mean, I don't know how big can a dude? You have limitations. Right?
Yeah, because you don't have guys don't really have breast tissue, so you're probably gonna only be able to do like a large C.
Honestly, but I'm not talking about how big they are. I'm just talking about I'm going to be breaking them out.
You're going to wear like bras and shit?
I'm going to be like, maybe I'll paint them and walk around, but maybe there's like some kind of a mask where you'll think I'm a chick, but I'll have like, some kind of a fucking like sports team mascot where I'm just wearing the helmet. And so I've got my titties out.
And your body will look really banging. Everyone will be like, wow, who's that cool tattooed chick?
Right. As many ways as possible to like pull funny pranks with like my titties out.
You're not scared.
Yeah, no, I just think that there's a lot.
You're not scared at all to get the surgery?
Well, I mean, I need to have the experience in order to relate,
Wow. And
But it seems like that brings up a good point that I think women are way earlier than men when you talk about childbirth.
Oh my God, dude.
Boob jobs. Like women really
I won't go under the knife. Like people think I have. I've never been put to sleep and had shit done ever because I'm too scared. I'm scared. My fear is that I'll die doing something vain. You know what I mean? Like if I was getting my tits done and then I died, people would be like, how did she die? Oh, she was getting her fucking boobs done. What a waste of life. You know what I mean? I'd feel really fucking shit.
People do die sometimes.
Yes, lipo. Kanye's mom died of liposuction.
Yeah.
Like people die all Joan Rivers. Like so many people die getting plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And then I'd feel really stupid if I died getting plastic surgery because it would just be something vain. This is our fucking banana peel anyway. We're all gonna rot and die. You know what I mean? So
this is our banana peel.
It's our banana peel. So like basically like we have these outer bodies, right? That hold us, but all the good shit's on the inside. This doesn't really matter.
This is our banana peel. I was just picturing like banana peel is something you slip on. And
That too. I'm constantly slipping and falling in my life. But yeah, no, I mean, I just would feel so like I've done like the stuff that you don't have to get put to sleep. You should do that shit. That's even more painful. Fillers and fucking Botox and lip injections. Fuck. Because you're awake. And you are like, they're like, yeah, we're going to numb you. And they put like a little bit of numbing shit on, you're like, oh yeah, I can kind of not feel my lips, and then they stick a fucking needle in and they fill it with fucking, that shit's gnarly. Get lip injections if you really want to fucking, because you know what's actually cool? If you get that shit, you can get it dissolved, so it's not permanent. So, like, you can get filler, you can get your fucking cheeks all big, Botox, like, fucking get your lips done.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, with no numbing cream.
Right. Fucking, that's exactly right.
They inject everywhere. I get my fucking under eyes done, needles, right by your eyeball.
How about that?
It's gnarly. Because I have really, like, hollow eyes. I get, like, dark circles.
Me too. I always did, even when I was a little kid.
They fill it.
It's like black eyes.
And then you don't have it anymore. Yeah. And they can dissolve everything, and that's even more painful because it's acid when they dissolve it. Nice. It's the fucking worst. I got a bad lip job one time, and she was like, don't worry, I can dissolve. And she fucking, it was like, literally felt like my lips were on fire for, like, a week.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have options.
Yeah.
But you're going to get your tits done and you're going to get a dick tattooed on your forehead.
Yeah, there's more. There's
even more.
Yeah, there's more.
And your fiance is like, this is fine.
What she didn't like was the skydiving with the jacking off.
Why? Out of all of it, she's fine with the breast implants?
She doesn't like it.
Well, yeah, I get it. I feel for her.
She's not stoked on that.
And she's so cute and cool, and she's probably just like so nice that she's like, yeah, whatever makes you happy.
I mean, she's not like any kind of a yes person where it's just like whatever I say goes.
Yeah.
Like, if she feels strongly about something, she's gonna let me know. And,
Good.
And like if the dishes pile up in the sink, like I'm in trouble. Like
wow.
I mean,
I like it.
It's pretty rad, man. Like our relationship is such that there's no
hierarchy.
Right.
You both fucking call each other out on shit.
Yeah, we do.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
We do.
That's a sign of a healthy relationship.
I believe that we have a genuinely healthy relationship, and I'm so psyched about it.
And is she more normal? Because you're like very far out there. Like your whole personality, the shit you do. Does she do weird shit too? Does she like fucking staple her titties to walls and stuff, or
nothing like that?
She's mellow.
Yeah, nothing like that. And I mean, she works in production.
Oh, cool.
She's a stylist.
I love that.
Prop stylist. She does like wardrobe and all that. So we met on a production.
I love that.
Yeah.
She's like, I have some garnish for your nuts, sir. Nice to meet you.
She's instrumental in me producing the gnarly content that.
Wow.
I came out with my own brand of hot sauce. It's called Hot Sauce for Your Butthole.
Okay, Tommy loves hot sauce.
Ah, shit.
He has no taste buds. He'll eat that because he smokes so much. He's that ghost pepper shit. He'll be like, yeah, no problem. He needs to do that Hot Ones challenge.
Oh, big time. I did that.
Far'd you go?
I went all the way.
All the way.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
I even stuck some in my eyes. You're like, at the end, just a finale. Just fucking.
What I remember that I knew it was going to get a large audience because that's such a phenomenally.
They do. They get so many views.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So I knew that it was a large audience, and I didn't want to squander my ability to reach that audience and squander the time by being like, oh, it's so hot. So I just kind of like, I just
grin and bared it.
I just buckled down and I communicated what I wanted to communicate.
Was it really painful? I'm gonna watch yours.
It wasn't too. It wasn't. I could have pictured it being worse.
I'm gonna watch. Go watch Steve-O's Hot Ones, guys.
It was fucking awful.
Awful.
No
the worst.
It was fucking awful. But I was able to. I think it's one of my best interviews that I have online. I mean,
wow.
As douchey as it is to say that. But then I drove somewhere right afterward. Drove there just fine. Get out of my car, and I'm like, I'm going to go over and pee in these bushes. And because I held my wiener with the same hand that I had just picked up my dick fucking just erupted in flames. It was like, that was when I paid the price.
Oh my God, this happened. Me and Tommy were cooking and he was cutting jalapenos. And he's like, fucking went to go pee and didn't fucking wash his hands. And he was like, Jesus fuck, like, my dick's on fire. Like, he fucking grabbed his dick and his dick was, that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that was worse than all of it.
It was way worse. Like, and maybe almost an hour after it was done. Like, peeing, like holding my wiener to pee was
the worst.
I don't know if I've ever shared that.
Oh, good. I like a worst first. Here.
Yeah, there
you
go.
get it. Worst first. What's the worst? Okay, so now if I have to jog your memory and think for a second of the worst out of all the fucked up shit that you've done in your life so far, what to you sticks out as the absolute fucking worst?
What? Like, I mean, there's a lot of criteria for this.
Okay, so
we covered the most painful one.
Right. That was the most painful, touching your dick after touching hot shit.
No. That was the one where I got the skin grafts. And
Oh,
that
the
was because
skin grafts, yes, because you burned on
I laid down in a bed of rocket engine fuel, and my buddies lit it while I was laying in it. I had just done a bunch of different rocket engine fuel stunts, and I got away with them all. And I was like, I'm kind of desensitized to the stuff. And I was like, well, I got to get kind of hurt. You know, this is like...
That was fucking painful as shit.
Oh my God.
Burning alive.
It was like I went on a little tour of burn units after that, and
you don't even look like you. Where are your scars on your back?
I lost like
part of your tattoo. There, yeah, I see that.
This was.
Oh yeah, that guy got kind of off there.
I lost a lot of skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is your back have scars on it?
Not as bad.
Wow, so they did a good job.
Yeah.
Healing you up.
Right.
Whoa.
Right, so that was the worst pain.
Okay.
And the worst, like maybe another criteria would be gross. So
what's the worst, grossest thing? Like, did you ever eat anything? Were you ever what's the most fucked up thing you ever ate? Because I know you probably ate some crazy shit.
There was our Jackass buddy Preston Lacey is he's a very large guy. He's over 300 pounds.
I know who he is.
And he was in this like saran wrap suit on an exercise machine.
Oh, I remember this, and he sweat the shit out of it.
And I
drank it.
Yeah, I drank his sweat.
I literally feel like I'm gonna vomit for just thinking about that because I remember that.
When I had the burns, like I woke up and I just had these crazy blisters, like bags of blister juice. Like it wasn't even blisters; it was bags of blister juice.
Just fucking yellow.
And I popped him and filled up a big shot glass of that.
Like, did you film that or did you just do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played that in the credits because it was so fucking disgusting. Like,
I literally feel like I'm gonna throw up. Sorry.
That was so fucking disgusting.
You took one of your giant fucking blisters.
A bunch of blisters.
A bunch of blisters.
Popped them and leaked it all into a shot glass. And it was like fucking dark yellow. So bad.
What did it taste like?
It didn't taste like anything. It wasn't salty. It just tasted like maybe saline. Saline, I think, is salt. It was just like warm water. Yeah, water.
Oh God, I feel like I'm gonna vomit. Okay, don't you guys ever fucking call me crazy again, you motherfuckers.
You asked me what was the craziest.
Yeah.
Or the grossest thing.
Yeah.
And then what else is there? There's
what's the most disturbing thing?
The worst injury,
Yeah, how'd you get hurt the most? Well, I know you got burned, but
when I shattered my ankle.
Oh my God.
Like I was jumping off a porta potty on a skateboard while my buddy crashed a car through it, and
he hit you.
He didn't hit me, but it was like just we went through like a bunch of porta potties to make it happen. I wanted to stick that last one so bad, and it was full 8 feet tall, and I just tried to stand, but I wasn't even on the board, and I just tried to stomp, and I just shattered my ankle.
What does that feel like? Just the worst?
It just feels like you look down and your foot's coming out sideways, you know, like and so you know it's bad.
Your ankle completely shattered.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I had 11 screws and a plate to screw it all together.
And they're still in there, right? Or no?
No, actually, I got all the hardware out since then and put it into this cool like bone mold thing in my edit bay.
No.
But yeah, that was.
How did they get it out? They took it out after it healed?
It's another.
Did they do that? I thought they left it in. Wow, you do have a giant scar on your ankle.
Yeah, because if you. If you break your ankle again with all the hardware in, then
okay. So is that normal to take it out? Yeah, that's a nightmare.
Humpty Dumpty.
No.
You can't put it all back together because there's so many little. So yeah, it's better to get the hardware out.
Holy fuck. Okay, wait. Hang on, guys. This is riveting. I'm going to ask Steve-O so many more questions. Just hang on real quick. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back on Worst Firsts. Okay, so we all know how ExpressVPN is the new thing to do. If you're tired of watching all the shows on Netflix, Hulu, whatever, you want to watch a new streaming app that doesn't lag, doesn't buffer, ExpressVPN is for you. It protects your privacy, but it also allows you to access shows in different countries. So how does it work? Well, you go to and download ExpressVPN, okay? So first you want to download ExpressVPN, and then you just change your location, fire up the app, change your location. It lets you hide your IP address to control where the sites want to think you are. So you could say, oh, I'm in Japan, and then watch Spirited Away for hours on the Japanese Netflix or whatever. It also works for Hulu, BPC, iPlayer, YouTube, you name it. If you want to watch anything in other countries, ExpressVPN is for you. There are hundreds of options. Everything is streaming. And like I said, no lagging, no buffering. So you're not going to be sitting there for hours being like, this is the worst. And guess what? Not only is it ridiculously fast, it's compatible with all your devices from phones, media consoles, smart TVs. So you can watch it on your personal device or the big screen. You don't have to just watch it on your iPhone, which I know can be kind of annoying. So if you want to check that out, you head to ExpressVPN. That's ExpressVPN.com/worst, and you can get 3 extra months of free ExpressVPN just for my listeners, which is great. So things aren't always the worst on this podcast. Isn't that great? So if you want to support a show or watch whatever you want in a different country and you've gone through everything possible here, head to expressvpn.com/worst, download ExpressVPN, change your location, fire up the app, and watch whatever the heck you want, and you're welcome. Guys, during the break, I just watched the trailer for Steve-O's Gnarly, and it was fucking gnarly. But there's no better word for it. I saw your penis, so it's weird also sitting next to you now. Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, imagining that. Yeah, penis painted in black paint, very intense.
I'm no Tommy Lee.
Oh, hey, I didn't say it. I can't say that, all right? Well, it's true, I can say that, but yeah. Right. No, but it's nice. I mean, it's not an aggressive penis. Oh, good. Because I didn't feel violated.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Wait, what was up with can I say like the pubes? Was that pubes glued to you, or was that your pubes?
In which part?
I saw the black painted penis. It looked like there were pubes on it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't shave for the shoot.
That was your real pubes?
Those are my real pubes.
They're so curly.
I know. I had a little bit of a fro going on at that time.
You were literally like freaking Rhythm Nation down there. Yeah. What was that?
Yeah, it was
Do you have really curly pubes like that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
And more so when you put all that paint on them.
Yeah, they were literally like, it looked like you glued an afro to your dick.
Yeah, some Jerry curl going on. Yeah.
Wow. Impressive.
Right.
Wow. Okay, so everyone stay tuned for that. It's going to be really intense, and you get to see Steve-O's crazy penis, and it's really fun, and it's gnarly. And you guys are all in it. Like, you guys all look the same, which is so funny. I was just looking at it and seeing like you and Johnny and Bam, and everybody looks good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, man. You guys all look great. That. You don't really age that much.
Well,
you got a little gray, but like you're not. You look like you forever.
Well, thanks. I'm grateful that I've somehow like not changed in my appearance so much.
Especially for all the fucked up shit you've done to yourself.
Right.
I mean, we'll see in a year when you have tits, but.
Yeah.
Did what have you broken in your face?
What have I broken in my face aside from tons of teeth?
Do you have any real teeth?
I mean, I have the real teeth, but with the crowns and veneers. Except for these guys. Yeah.
Guys, Steve-O just took some of his teeth out. No! You take your fucking teeth out.
Yeah, at night. I don't sleep with them in.
I'm having a heart attack. You just took your fucking teeth out.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Do you chase your fiance with it?
No, but like
How is that for dating? Like a first time you're going to bed. Do you say it? Like, are you like, hey, by the way, preface it, I'm going to take my fucking teeth out? Or do you just go and just take them and put them on the fucking nightstand?
I do not remember what it was like the first time I revealed my missing teeth to my girl. But she didn't give a fuck either way.
She didn't care.
Yeah, my girl.
Now let me ask you a question. Yeah. What if it was a girl and you were going to sleep and she took her teeth out?
That happened to me one time.
Stop.
And
where?
This was part of my first comedy special, which didn't have all the footage edited into it. But I was, and it was a lot of like sex stories, you know, like
love that. I
really leaned into the sex stuff.
Yeah.
For my first special, and one of the stories was that I was being intimate with this girl, and it just plainly when she said, get ready to have a really good time.
That's what she said.
And then she popped out all of her front teeth, like at least like 5 of them or something, you know, like she took that, and then she, you know, gave me oral stimulation. And the joke was that I couldn't wait to tell my Jackass buddies about it and tell them how she gave me a Hummer, but it wasn't a Hummer, it was a Gummer.
It was a Gummer. Does it feel better than a girl having teeth? Did she actually like rub it through the gums?
I do recall it being something like that.
It was rad?
Yeah. She,
you were into it?
She called it. She said, get ready to have a really good time.
And you weren't freaked out?
No, I was stoked. Yeah. Now, and to be clear, too, this was like as soon as I got to California in like 2001.
Okay.
A long time.
Did you date this girl?
I did not.
Gummy?
She had been in some kind of car accident or something.
Oh, that's sad.
But like, I mean...
But she was super hot and you couldn't tell? She had fake teeth?
She was perfectly attractive.
Wow.
And when she had her teeth in...
You would have no idea.
You would have no idea.
Just like I had no idea you just pulled your tooth out. Wow.
Right. So to answer your question, if it was a girl, that would be fine.
Fine with you. Everything's fine with you, right?
I mean... Do
you have any other crazy stories like that? Like you were like hooked up with a girl and then they had like a penis and you were like, oh... You do. You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it.
I do have.
Oh my God.
That happened.
Whatever you're comfortable with. That's happened to a lot of people I know.
Right. I remember.
You're like, she's got a really nice, strong chin. I like that.
This was a story that I taped that night, but I took it out.
Yeah.
Of that special.
Do you feel comfortable sharing? You don't have to.
Yeah, just sharing. I mean, I felt like that there was, even at the time when I put out the special, that I wanted to be careful about like, you know,
hurting people's feelings, like coming off homophobic.
Yeah, transphobic. I didn't want to really go there, so I left it.
It's not about it being bad. It's cool if you're down with it. Some people are down with it. Some people aren't.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's exciting.
The what I thought was funny about that story was that after I had this experience, I told, I think I was on like Loveline with Dr. Drew or something. I told Dr. Drew that you know, I had this experience where I was given oral stimulation by an individual who had been a hermaphrodite.
Oh.
Where they were like both male and
That's hot
female.
to me. Yeah. I used to watch hermaphrodite porn.
But that they had an operation to remove the penis. So it was like...
Just female.
Right. And Dr. Drew said, Steve-O, there's no such thing as a hermaphrodite. What happened was a dude sucked your dick.
That's not true.
Well, that's what Dr. Drew said.
There are hermaphrodites because my grandmother was an ER nurse, okay? And she told me a story about a baby that was born. And he or she had a little penis and a vagina.
I feel like there's been stories about that too.
There are. It's true. It can happen. I'm gonna mess it up, but like the clitoris can be like overdeveloped where it's almost like a dick.
Well, there's like in some like Africa or some I don't know.
Yeah, so anyway, so listen, so when the baby was born, the doctors at the time, my grandmother was in the delivery room and the doctor said to the parents, do you want this to be a boy or a girl? And the parents were like, oh, we want a son. So they like fixed all the reproductive organs and sewed up the, vagina, and they made it wanted it to be a boy. And then later in life, the kid ended up growing tits and was more female.
Right.
Yeah. So it happens. It's a real thing. It's not true.
There's also some tribe where born a girl, but then like at puberty, the clitoris just grows into a penis.
Yes. This I've also seen.
I got to double check with Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew's, listen, love Dr. Drew. Think he's super smart, but not always right.
Maybe.
Not everyone's always right. I mean, people are anomalies. Like there are people that's happened to, For sure. If you're a hermaphrodite, leave a comment and let us know, like, that you're out there, because there are hermaphrodites out there.
Right.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing at all.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing is wrong with it. And everyone gets so worked up and offended by that. But like, who cares? You have a dick? Great. You have titties? Great. You have both? Even better. You know? Do you have two dicks? Love it.
I'm backing it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just more to play with. Is that gross?
Nah.
That's amazing. So that's interesting. Okay, so we discussed your disgusting one, your painful one. I want to talk about. Okay, so what was something where you really thought like I might die? The worst thing that ever happened to you, where like I actually think that I might die from this. Did you ever have that happen?
I'm putting together a whole video called "Times I Could Have Died."
Oh my God. It's like that many times a video's worth. Why did I even doubt that? You're like, it's 3 hours long. No, it's on your way to the house today.
It's probably top 10. Oh my God. It's like a top 10. But
I'm like, I can't.
Most notably for me was when I was we were filming this Nintendo commercial, and what it was a new thing called Nintendo DS, where people can remotely.
I remember DS.
Like you can play against your opponent wirelessly.
Yeah.
And so the commercial was set up so Pontius is riding on an elephant, and he's riding by like on safari, and I'm in a tree, like with lions jumping up and clawing at
real lions.
Yeah, like at like meat. They like put meat like on the branch.
Oh
or something
my God.
Like that. And this was set up to look like we were in Africa, but we were actually in California.
Mm-hmm.
And the lions were like just I forget if there was like an electric fence to keep the lions in by the tree.
Okay, so they wouldn't wander off.
Right. But then
they're trapped in there with you.
Right. There was no like plan if like
if you fell.
Wrong. There was no plan for anything. And before we started shooting, the director was like, "What's to stop a lion from just climbing up the tree?" And
because they do that.
Right. And the guy in charge of the lions, he said, "Lions don't climb trees."
Are you fucking serious?
Right.
How many fucking National Geographic photos have we seen of fucking lions chilling in trees?
And then the director said, Jeff Tremaine said, "Well, that is a pretty mellow tree." So
it wasn't very high.
So as soon as they said action, right? Like they said action, and the lion climbs right up the tree. It's like gets all over me. Like I was like, okay, that's it. I'm dead.
Was he biting you?
He was more like just kind of playing with me, but everybody was just freaking the fuck out.
What was the trainer doing? Was he screaming at him?
Yeah,
they pictures of it.
Yeah, I have footage.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody was freaking the fuck out so bad. Here's like a.
Oh my God, I love how you readily just had that. Oh, this is the commercial. No, he just climbed up there. He didn't give a fuck.
That's a fucking 300-pound lion. I'm like.
Guys, the lion is crawling on Stevo. Oh, I would have shit my pants. He could have just bit you right in the neck and you would have been done.
Yeah.
So you were scared?
I was sure I was going to be dead for sure.
Were you frightened? Did your life flash before your eyes?
I just kind of like...
Went limp.
I went a little bit limp. I was just resigned to that being the end. And I just kept saying, "Good kitty. Good kitty."
No, you didn't. Did you really?
Good kitty.
You were the Tiger King before Tiger King.
And I never dropped the Nintendo DS.
Wow, that's fucking commitment. Dude, I hope fucking Nintendo paid you so much money for that. They're like, look, you can get attacked by a lion and still play a Nintendo DS.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever have any shark attack shit? Did you ever do anything with sharks?
I have a video that I've already put out on YouTube called My 10 Craziest Shark Encounters.
10 shark encounters? I'm thinking like, oh, he's got like a crazy one shark story. You have 10.
I've got lots of crazy shark stories with just about every kind of shark except for tiger shark. Like
a great white shark?
I've got a great white shark story.
What did you do with the great white shark?
We were in South Africa, and they had this way of luring the great white shark up to the boat with like a big ball of meat. Like a bait ball.
That makes sense.
So they put the ball of meat hanging off the boat, and then when the shark, like a 12-foot great white shark, comes up and hits the bait ball, we jumped off the boat. Like we landed in the water like not 6 feet away from a 12-foot great white shark in South Africa, and then we climbed into the cage. But we came through the frame underwater in between the cage and the shark, so you saw the shark and us come through, and then we climbed into the cage.
And this is on YouTube?
Yeah, my 10 craziest shark encounters.
I'm gonna watch that. You weren't scared at all.
We were scared, but that was the whole purpose of what we went out to South Africa for.
It was you and Johnny Knoxville, right?
It was me and Pontius.
Oh, you and Chris Pontius. Okay.
Yeah, and it was there was this loophole for everything that we did. If we're under the supervision of a bona fide professional, then we're allowed to do like whatever.
Who was the professional?
Well, there was this guy named Andre Hartman, who in South Africa, he's the world top great white expert.
Wow.
And so we were going to shoot with him. Mm-hmm. And that was the only way we had permission to swim with a great white shark outside of the cage. But then when we got there, they said we're not shooting with Andre Hartman anymore because he's going to be working with these like Japanese, oil people or something. So now all of a sudden we're not allowed to swim with the great white shark anymore. Now we have to be in the cage. And they said you can jump off the boat like into the cage. And I was like, dude, that's lame. So I'm getting hammered with Pontius at the bar the night before the shoot. And I said, dude, we're going to fucking just jump off the other side of the boat and we're going to fucking swim to the cage. That's how we're going to do it when the shark shows up. And like we're like making our little pact. We're getting all drunk. This guy sitting next to us at the bar, he says, if the great white shark finds you in the swimming, it'll be curious and it'll bite you, but like it won't want to eat you, but now you bleed out.
Yeah, that's what happens. They just bite you and their bite is so bad that you just die.
Right. And he said, he was just overhearing us. He said, for what you're talking about, the safest thing you can do is jump on the shack. Because
who's this guy? Just some dude at the bar with leathery skin, like he's like, listen here.
It was Andre Hartman.
It was?
Yeah. And he fell in love with us and he canceled the Japanese people and he came out and he said that it was
what?
Yeah, it
just randomly at the bar.
Totally random, happened like that. And his recommendation was that we jump on the shark because with its pointy nose, its eyes are like at this pointy part, and it can't see its own body. So like
if you jump behind it,
it just freaks out. It's not gonna. It's just like it.
It's not gonna do anything.
Same thing with the splash. We couldn't jump on it because there would be a problem with like animal rights people.
Right.
I mean, it would just be wrong. But just landing right next to it, again, it can't see its own body, so it's just like, what the fuck, I'm out.
Did it jump? Did you jump like next to it or behind it?
We jumped next to it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right next to it.
What if it just decided to turn its fucking head and chomp you?
The splash of us landing in the woods, that's the way that we did it was by far the safest way.
You scared it.
Because we startled it.
Yeah, could you tell you scared it?
I mean, it's just like, yo, I'm out.
He just swam away. He's like, fuck this meatball.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I'm out. And so...
Did he come back or did he just leave you guys alone?
I mean, I don't. Who knows? I don't know that it came back or not. We were just so like.
You're like, we're in the cage. Oh, I'm alive.
It was just so rad too because we were on the boat and hear this fucking thing. It's right there, and we're like, dude, you know, something, I forget we had some funny line. We were like, oh my God, it's a shark. Get off the boat immediately.
Get off the boat immediately. Just the opposite of Jaws. Just like, oh my God, it's Jaws. Into his mouth.
Get in.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there was some kind of funny thing. Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
The first time I swam with a shark, I got bit.
Where?
You can see.
Oh, the little teeth.
Yeah.
Was it a tiny shark?
Yeah, it was a nurse shark.
Oh, you got bit by a nurse shark? The ones that aren't supposed to bite people?
Right. Uh-huh. That was my first shark encounter.
Wait, this is so crazy because I swam with them in the Bahamas.
Right.
And they tell you they're safe. And they
said don't wave your hands in front of
their face, right?
And then like you see the footage, that's exactly what I'm doing. It's just waving my hands.
So this is what's really scary is I went and swam with them and they were huge. Like, I'm not talking about little nurse sharks. I'm talking about nurse sharks like your size. And they were all laying on the bottom. And I jump in and I'm like, I'm going to go pet it. And I go down and I pet it. And then I realize, like, there's not like a bunch of people swimming with them, just a couple. And I'm one of them and Tommy's sitting on the dock. And at one point I come up and one of them is just coming right towards me, just straight towards me. And I just kind of stood my ground for a second. And I was like, oh, he's going to turn or veer off. He just kept coming and he was fucking big and I fucking went to the top so fucking fast and I jumped down. Tommy pulled me out. A week later, I shit you not, at the same fucking place in the Bahamas, an Instagram model is trying to take a photo laying back with the sharks and one of them comes up and bites her arm and pulls her back and rips her arm.
I believe it.
Dude, okay, so it bit you because you were going like this? Spirit fingers?
I was doing exactly what they told me not to do.
Did you do it on purpose?
No. I was just dumb and didn't pay attention.
And it just came around and what?
Yeah. I mean, it's in the video. You see it actually bite me.
Steve-O shark attack videos.
Yeah.
We're going to Google that.
My 10 craziest
I know what I'm doing tonight.
It's a pretty entertaining video.
God. That's a tiny bite, though, for like...
Wait, it just got me the end of my finger.
Was he a big shark?
It was pretty little.
It was little.
I mean,
I watched the video. Is this big? You're like, but watch my shark videos. The great white's this big. It's a baby great white.
The great white was legit.
Oh my gosh!
Actually, all of them were legit except the nurse shark.
Aw, little baby nurse shark.
fun.
You're so lucky.
Yeah.
So you've had a crazy life.
I've been pretty good about making sure that I had a crazy life.
Yeah, you live full, die empty. I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
You ever heard that saying?
I've never heard live full, die empty. No.
It's a good one, right? It applies to you.
Good.
You're gonna die with like a fucking empty body. You're just gonna harvest all your organs off before.
Right. The body's not a temple.
No, you're abusing it.
It's an amusement park.
Wow, I think that needs to be your new T-shirt or like your bumper sticker.
Yeah. You gotta ride that shit.
Your body
hard.
is Six Flags. Beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Make it dirty.
Right.
Fill it with junk food.
Yeah.
So you're not scared of dying?
I mean, I think that the fear is of suffering. Like
Not of death.
Being dead has to be okay.
You think?
Yeah.
Because you just think you don't feel anything?
I mean, I just think that, like, if there's some kind of problem with being dead, then we're all in a bad situation.
You know what I read the other day that really freaked me out?
What's that?
I read that your hearing obviously is the last thing to go when you die. And you can hear for up to 2 minutes after you're dead. And so you can hear a doctor saying you're dead.
Huh. I mean...
Can you imagine how shitty that will be? Like, oh, call it 4:05.
You would have to have, like, still your mental capacities to make anything of the doctor
saying you're dead. So even if you're hearing it, like, you might not be able to process it.
Right. And I think that, like, as it relates to the dying part, there's enough, like, documented, like, near-death experiences, people who were dead and then they came back and they all described the same thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's like you hear people say your life flashes before your eyes. It's called a life review.
DMT.
And in this life review, you have, like, you go through your whole life and experience all of the impact that you had on others, like, as them.
Wow.
Like this whole concept of like we are all one. Like now all of a sudden you
or everyone else.
And it's as quick but it's like in such, people describe it in such detail where if there's like a mosquito a mile away, like you experience that, you know? And like
that's cool.
Right. And when people come back from having these life reviews, then their priorities are totally different. Like they're like so careful not to like make people feel bad or like, you know, like because they really understand the importance and like how, you know,
it affects everyone. We all affect each other,
right?
Because we're essentially all connected,
right? But also the message in all of these experiences that people have and that they relate is that the being dead part, that you're, if anything, it's like total bliss.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that.
Right.
I've only heard of like one near-death experience where a guy like he OD'd and he's like, well, this is only one I saw that I remember, where he was like, yeah, I went down like a dark hole and towards flames. Like that was the only one that I saw that was gnarly. But yeah, have you ever done DMT? Have you ever done ayahuasca?
No.
You don't do that stuff?
No.
You should do that shit for one of your fucking specials. Are you kind of scared of drugs?
Yeah, I can't really fuck with that.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to stay away from drugs.
Yeah, it's been over 12 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So that stuff counts, even though it's just like fucking weird spiritual shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Because then if you love it, you just do DMT every day. You're like, wow, he lives on the spirit realm now. He doesn't even exist as a human being. Yeah. No, it's kind of crazy because it's supposed to be like a natural occurring chemical in our brains.
Right. I mean, the way that ayahuasca was described to me is that you go through some kind of like super hellish experience, and for having made it through this hell, you somehow come out like with issues resolved.
Right, that's what I heard. I heard people have told me that like it cures depression, it cures anxiety. Like, I've heard some people say that, and then other people have been like, I just threw up a whole bunch and it was fucking terrible.
Right.
Right?
Uh-huh. And I mean, my attitude about that, and my buddies for that matter, is that, you know, we've been through plenty of hell.
You don't need any more.
Yeah, like we're good on hell.
Yeah, I know. How are you not like fucked up like at all, like in your brain, like brain damage or anything?
It's a good question. I've had no shortage of concussions. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like I know you've been beaten down and beat the shit out of.
I had the worst concussion of my life during that 1 week before we got shut down.
So recently?
Yeah.
What happened?
It was on March 9th.
Oh my gosh. Did you go to the hospital?
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Well, I can't say what happened.
Oh, because it's in the thing.
Yeah.
But we'll find out how you got the worst concussion of your life and you had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I was knocked the fuck out.
You were knocked out?
Oh, completely unconscious.
What does it feel like to be knocked out? I've never been knocked out.
I don't even remember the impact. I remember jumping, but I don't remember anything else until I woke up, and I think I was already on a stretcher.
Wow. Yeah. I've always wondered, because I've never fainted and I've never been like knocked out, and I'm always like, what is that like? Like, do you just like, have you ever fainted before?
No, but I've been choked unconscious an awful lot.
And shout out to your fiance. I'm just kidding.
You know, like in the UFC and stuff.
Yeah, chokeholds. Yeah. You've had people do that to you?
If you don't tap, you go out.
Okay, so what does that feel like when they cut your circuit? Your
It feels terribly claustrophobic.
Ooh, I hate that.
And then all of a sudden nothing, and then you come back to and you don't know where you are. It kind of feels like you're on nitrous a little bit.
Really? Because the oxygen is just coming back to your brain.
Uh-huh.
Do you get scared when you're being choked out?
Right when you can't breathe and you're like, oh, you know, it's claustrophobia, it's terror. And
oh, God, and you've had people do it to you?
I had Ryan Dunn do it to me 6 times in one day.
I don't get how you're not dead.
I know, it's a good question.
Do your parents worry about you?
I still have my dad, and he's pretty cool with everything.
He's fine with it.
I mean, he's
like, just no gay shit. He's like, I don't care. You can choke him out, fucking stick a gun in his fucking mouth, blow his brains out, just anything but the gay shit. Please, nothing in his butthole. I'm dead. That's amazing. Your dad just so like.
Yeah, dad's the man.
Wow, that's so cool. He looks like the man. Aww.
He's great.
He probably never knew he was gonna have a son like you.
He didn't anticipate that.
Yeah. Do you believe in past lives?
Sure.
What do you think you were in a past life? Do you think you're just some fucking nutso dude like back in the day?
I think that for the most part, most of us have been all walks of life.
Yeah.
All, different species, I would imagine.
You think
too.
species too? Or different
I think so.
species?
I don't think there's anything that would limit us to being
just human.
Incarnated as human.
Wow.
Yeah, I really subscribe to I think not only do I subscribe to it, I think that there's enough like documented shit where people like actually know things, like specific details about previous lives.
Oh yeah.
They could never, that it's actually completely irrefutable proof that their memories from previous lives are real.
Yeah, I remember a story about a kid that I saw recently where his mother showed him a picture of the grandfather, and she hands it to her son and goes, and she just shows him and doesn't say anything. He goes, "That was my favorite suit. I remember I used to wear that and I would play with your hair." And the mother was like, "How the fuck, like, did you know that?" Right. So it was like the grandfather, like, reincarnated.
Sure.
And then he would tell her all this stuff. Like, those were my favorite shoes. They were from here. And, like, he knew all the stuff because he was him.
Totally.
And then as you get older, the memories, I think, fade. But
it's got to be, I think, like 2 years old and below.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the kid was probably 2. Huh?
Yeah, he was super young. You can look it up, guys. It's like, I might be like butchering it, but it's like this mom who shows her son a picture, and he literally was like, "Yeah, that's my favorite." And that's happened so many times. It's not just like one instance.
Right. Oh, there's
so many
that, like, it's actually like.
It's irrefutable, like you said.
Yeah.
Like you can't say like it doesn't exist. I mean, there's gonna be people in the comments that are gonna be like, "It's not real." Right. When you're dead, you're dead. Like, those kind of people, which they're always fun. And you're welcome to your opinion.
Right, and that's fine. I have something that I just love. It's this book. It's actually a book series. Mm-hmm. It's called Conversations with God. Aww. And it's like a lot of people hate on it because it's like one guy, the author, is writing this dialogue where he asks questions and then intuitively gets responses from God. And so he's writing his question and God's answer. And it's a whole dialogue. Now that's tough to swallow, but here's the thing, is that it was on the New York Times bestseller list, book 1 of the Conversations with God series, for a record, I want to say like 134 straight weeks.
And this is a guy who he can speak with God, and he says he can speak with God.
He intuitively gets the responses. Wow. You can be mad at that or not.
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck if the guy just like deliberately made it up.
Right.
And it's not like real, because it's just
really cool.
It's super cool. It's super profound. I've met the guy. He doesn't strike me as a dude
who would make stuff up.
Right. And so whatever, it's a lot to swallow, but it lends credibility to it that it was on the New York Times bestseller list for almost 3 straight years. I think more than any other book.
People want to believe, I think. Like, people want security. Right. I think the biggest thing with death is the unknown. It's scary, And
in the dialogue, God says that there are so many, like, properly documented accounts of reincarnation, like, that are proven, that it's baffling that
anyone would
still resist to believe in it.
I saw an interesting thing the other day too. I was following this girl, and she is like a really spiritual person, and she said she had like a vision of and I don't always believe these things, but I think her view was really interesting when she said, like, when you die, you have 3 choices. You can either become, your spirit goes to the spirit world. You can either become a spirit guide for someone else who's passed away. You can be reincarnated, and then you get into the reincarnation process and go to pick your new body and learn from your mistakes. Or you can just like exist in sort of like this limbo state for a while and like think about like, oh, did I achieve everything I wanted to achieve in this past life? And like usually that's why people go back, because they're like, oh, I could have done this better, like that kind of thing. And she said like it's like 3 stages, and like it's very like, and there's, I don't know, she explained it so cool, and I was like, wow, that kind of like actually makes sense,
They say that like at the point that you die, that you're supposed to go with your spirit guide. Mm-hmm. And that it's a creates a problem for certain people that they want to like. They don't want to
leave.
They don't want to leave. They want to be like, oh no, but my family is they're here, they're over here,
and they cling to their things. Yeah,
right. And then that can leave them sort of as a ghost or some weird thing. But like they say like no matter what, like go with your spirit guide.
I actually totally believe that. Do you believe in ghosts too?
I mean, I think that like when it comes to like ghosts and stuff, like. I just think that there's so many like
this trapped energy,
so many different dimensions.
Yes,
like of energy that like that ghosts to me just aren't in our
realm
compartment. Our realm. It's a great word, realm. So yeah, ghosts for sure.
Like they're not trying to fuck with us; they're just existing on a different plane, and we happen to encounter it.
I think that. I think that there's an intense fascination for spirit entities in our realm, but I think that there are limitations on how they can like really influence it.
Right.
But then again, some of us are like angels and
and some people. I mean, there's people that I know that are they see things, they see spirits, they see that other realm. They're like, there's a whole other world existing in what's it called? In simultaneously as our world is existing, and some of it's from the past, and some of it's from now, and some of it's from the future. And these people tell me like, oh, I can see like I can talk to people, I can see things, I see energy.
Conversations with God goes all into
that.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's a book to check out. I mean, I know there's not to push God on people because we're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's not about pushing God, but it's an interesting thing to read about, even if you're atheist or don't believe in anything.
One time an atheist guy said, I'm atheist. I don't believe in God. I just believe that all of creation is an exercise in the universe experiencing itself. And I was like, that right there was the most fucking profound and I would say accurate description of God. There is.
I think people hear the word God and they think, a guy or like a actual singular person.
Right. It's the whole universe. Yeah. And there's the realm of the absolute, which is, and then there's the realm of the relative. And it's only in the realm of the relative that the universe can experience itself.
Yeah.
Which is already like,
my mind starts to like explode when I think about it too much because like, do you ever like look up in the sky sometimes at night, you're just staring at the sky and you're like, we are this big and we're on Earth. How many other Earths are there? How infinite is like there's stuff that's out there and I think about it all the time.
But in the dialogue, God says that there's no limit to how far out you can expand. Like, it goes on and on.
It just keeps going infinity.
But there's also no limit to how small you can get. Like, you can cut something in half, and then whatever's left, you can cut that in half, and then whatever that you can, like, equally for infinity.
Goes both ways. It just fucks you up.
Yeah.
It's scary. And sometimes when I look at, like, little bugs.
So, like, in your body, like, the cell, that you break down the tiniest part of an atom of a cell, and then inside that atom, inside that cell, there's yet another whole universe.
I know. And what if like inside of our cells there's like shopping malls and like worlds, and they're doing a podcast, they're like, so welcome to the Cell podcast, like they're having a podcast, they're like, I wonder what's out there, and it's like us. It's weird. It's some Men in Black shit. Remember that? Remember that? Do you remember like Men in Black? Orion's belt was like the whole universe was like the little. I
never watched Men in Black.
You never saw Men in Black?
No. I don't really fuck with fiction too much.
Men in Black is such a good movie.
So funny. I'm in conversation with God, but I don't fuck with fiction.
Okay, well, you watch Men in Black with your fiance. It's fun. It's a feel-good film.
Yeah, we really lost him a while back.
I know, we lost him. Everyone's already tuned out of this podcast. It's just me and you and two viewers that like, it's like one Christian lady who's like, I like this conversation.
So you have it on audio only and
YouTube. YouTube and iTunes and everywhere, Spotify.
How do you get it onto iTunes? Do you upload it to Acast?
I don't do it, so the studio does it, but I don't know how they do it. I can ask them. I can find out.
Are you at the podcast network?
Yes.
Which one?
Studio 71.
Okay.
They're like not like a podcast network. They're just like a studio that represents like a bunch of podcasts. So I guess kind of a podcast network, but they also just represent like a lot of digital talent.
Do they
Shout out to Studio 71.
do they help you book guests?
Yeah. Oh, no, I do all my own. I do all my own because I just know so many people. I mean, they can, but like I don't want like people I don't really know or people that I'm not interested in. You know, I like soliciting people myself.
Do you agonize over like I've gotta keep getting like
big guests?
Awesome guests.
No, you know what? I do a lot by myself sometimes. Like if I have something really interesting to talk about.
You'll put up a podcast alone?
Yeah. I'll sit here and talk to myself because I clearly have mental problems and like I have a lot going on in my brain. And so sometimes I'll just sit here and kind of talk about like what I'm thinking about or my opinion on something, or I'll do like a worst first. I'll have people write in and tell me like their worst first sexual experiences, their worst first dating stories, their worst first ghost stories is a really big one. People have so many ghost stories, like really gnarly, crazy, riveting ghost stories. So I'll do those by myself. And then like I honestly lately, like I've had a lot of really big guests on and I'm so grateful and love that. But I actually kind of wanted to like open it up to like, you know, like I'm going to have a medium on, I'm going to have a psychic on, I'm going to have like someone who does a really gnarly, disgusting job on, you know what I mean? Because it's worse first. I think
would be interesting, like super fascinating, is a hospice worker.
Oh, that would break my heart, but yeah.
But that's the thing, like hospice workers, and I think what would make it so fascinating is that they're surrounded by dying people all the time.
All the time,
that's what they do. And they're, I think the least
affected because they see it so much.
I don't want to say least affected, but I think that they're more tuned in because as a society, we're so like averse to the idea of even contemplating our mortality.
I know. We do everything to distract ourselves from it.
Totally. It's not fucking cool to be old. It's like, dude, ship them away, get them out of. It's like a party foul to be old.
So sad.
You know, like put them away in a nursing home. I don't even want to see them because old people are
reminders
of our mortality. And so like we do everything to just put our blinders on and not think about the fact that we're ultimately gonna die. We just pretend like we're not, like la 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 la.
They're like, watch another episode on Netflix of the show. You like be distracted, be distracted, be distracted. Yeah.
And it's so dumb. You should be like
aware.
You should be deliberate about living the life that you want to have had lived once it's over. And so I think hospice workers just have a totally different perspective on life and of everything. I remember talking to one, and they're just, I don't want to say they're not affected by death, but they're just not upset by it. They're like, you know, when one of my clients passes, like their body, it's just, they're not in it anymore. You know, I know they're into another.
You can see that.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
So if they're
not here anymore.
Right.
You can see that I when I looked into, like, I had a dog that I had another dachshund. She got killed at a dog park, and
by another dog?
She got hit by a car in the parking lot. It was horrible, and I was holding her as she was dying, and it was the saddest, most heartbreaking day of my entire life to this day because I saw the moment her soul left, because her eyes went from being here, like you can look at me and I can look at you and I can see your soul.
Yeah.
You watched her eyes, and that soul, that life, it just becomes like flat. It's so strange, and I'll never forget it. Looking right in her eyes, and then all of a sudden the eye just went, and it wasn't her eyes moving or anything. They were open. I saw it leave.
I haven't lost a dog yet.
God bless you. Don't, because it's for a long time.
My girl and I have 4 dogs.
I know you rescue dogs. I remember that. You take such good care of them.
We've got 4 dogs, 2 cats, and 3 goats now.
You have goats?
Yeah.
Oh, can I come play with your goats?
Sure.
Oh, I love goats.
They're so fucking
cute. Do they kick off of you and stuff and ram you and jump on you?
They ram each other, and one of them, like, you put out your fist out for a fist bump, and he goes up on his hind legs and like.
Stop! I'm coming over and playing with your goats. Enough said.
Yeah, he headbutts your fist like, and he rears up to.
Stop! Will your fiance let me come over and play with your goats? I'll bring Tommy.
I'm sure
it'll be amazing. We'll all come play with your goats.
Double date,
goat date.
Yeah.
Do they do like the standing on you with like yoga and stuff like that? Not really.
No, they don't do that too much.
Are they pygmy goats or big goats?
They're dwarf goats.
They're tiny little dwarf goats?
They're not as small as goats get, but they're pretty fucking.
I'm coming over.
Yeah.
That's it. Dwarf goats sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, losing a dog is probably like the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life, and I've lost a lot of people. But a dog, the way they're just so innocent and the love they have for you regardless of what you're going through or how you treat them. Like, they love you. They just love you infinitely. She's my child, this one.
Yeah.
I have a 16-year-old Yorkie downstairs.
Wow.
You'll meet him, Mr. Wicket. He's going blind. But he's been with me through everything. And they really are special, you know? And that's like, you know, I guess... But I won't forget that moment. That really makes me believe that, you know, you're a soul.
Sure.
I read a quote one time that was like, you're a soul having a human experience.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
We're just trapped in the body. It's not us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, God, I've got this one dog, and it's this dog that I found in the streets of Peru.
What? You brought a dog back from Peru?
Uh-huh.
How did you get him back here?
It was a girl.
Her.
And she followed me around everywhere. We were filming a TV show.
Oh, I think you remember you telling me this. And she followed you everywhere, and you were like, I have to. It's a sign.
Right. We were down there filming a TV show, and she became a star of the show. And it's just the best. So, I brought her home. The production took care of everything.
Good. And now she's living the life.
Wendy. It's Wendy.
Wendy. I remember.
Yeah.
Didn't I think I might have met her maybe. I don't know. Maybe not yet. No.
Yeah. But maybe you saw the video, because this video that I put up of finding Wendy is the most viewed video I've ever put online.
People love dogs.
Oh my God. And she's my favorite. Like I'll just be honest, like,
she's your favorite out of all the dogs?
Oh, yeah.
It's okay to have a favorite.
All the other ones, like, whatever.
It's not like you
Wendy,
don't love them. You love them, but there's a special connection.
I love them. I'll take care of them. But, like,
she's your girl.
That's my bitch. Yeah.
You marry Wendy. You're like, you know what? Honestly, fiance.
If anything ever happened to Wendy, I'm not okay.
That's how my dog, Maggie Poos, was. She was my little wiener dog.
Yeah.
She was in all my videos when I first started Vine. She was my homegirl. And when she got killed, I didn't get out of bed for like 2 months. I was just on Xanax every day. I couldn't move.
Does this one have its own Instagram?
Nina the Wiener. Yes, she does. And Wiki does too. See, the thing is like, it's interesting. Like, I've had Wiki forever, but he's like always been super independent and not like really clingy to me. He's kind of just like living his life, right? Mm-hmm. The dachshunds are very clingy. Like, they love their owners.
Yeah, I've got one of those.
Is that Wendy to you?
That's Walter.
Walter. Okay. Yeah, is he a wiener dog?
He's a Chihuahua wiener dog.
That's why.
He's super aggressive, and he's a fucking asshole.
Oh. See, she's not aggressive. They're just super needy.
She's the best.
She's so mellow. She just wants to be loved. And I'm like, okay, I love you. She's a really good dog. But, dude, I fucking have loved having you here.
Well, thank you.
This has been really fun. Like, fuck, you've told me everything. And I've loved that we had, like, such a great discussion about, you know, life. And especially with all the stuff you do, it's like, I didn't expect you to have that kind of opinion about it. I expected you to be like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. But you actually really care. And, like...
Yeah, for sure. You got to care.
Yeah, you have like a very deep connection with that.
There's going to be a lot of people that aren't feeling it, you know, the certain philosophy and perspective on it, and that's okay.
I actually read a quote today that said it's okay to disagree and still be kind.
Yeah, I like that.
It's possible.
Yeah.
You can disagree with someone and still be kind.
I like that.
Isn't that cool?
If I was all about posting like